Hi there, this is John from Stuff at Let's Go Around Australia. Now, we've got another parcel arrived today, something that I'm going to have to fit. So we bought ourselves one of the little diesel heaters. See on a lot of the camping web pages that so many people recommend them. We did have the little panel heater in here, the electric one, but when we put that in the inverter it really drained the batteries a lot. This one is one of the ones off of eBay. It's just from China. Yes, buy Australian made if you can afford it, but you know, it is a massive price difference, unfortunately. So we'll see what's in the box. So we've just got our box here. As you open it up, you've got your 10-litre water container, diesel container, water container. We'll find out what that's for later. In here, what have we got? It's a bit stuck. So it's your temperature gauge. Also your remote control, turning it off and on. So that's pretty convenient. Just in there, there's a few little switches. Also in there, we've got that piece. I can't really tell you what each piece is. That's your actual unit. I don't need to get that out just yet. What else we got in here? We've got some pipes. Oh, look what else you get with it. Ha! Oh, knew it was from China, but didn't expect that. Nah, just joking, mate. This one's just for me later. I've got to laugh about it, otherwise we'll cry, eh? Now there's a heap of stuff in there. We'll get to that later. I'll start installing this and I'll re-video on the important bits and show you where we're going and how long it takes. They reckon about 4 hours. We'll see whether we can get that down a bit further, or it'll take a heap longer. We'll see how we go. Alright, so just wondering where we're going to put this. We do have this space underneath the fridge that's been blocked up, so I'm just going to take that off and see whether we've got enough room to put it under there, seeing it's not in use anyway. So I'll take that off and we'll see how we go. So I've been looking at the book for probably a good 10 minutes, reading on how to install this thing. It really doesn't give great instructions. So I think I'm just going to follow the diagram that's at the back here somewhere. Should be one more page, I think. So I think I'm just going to go off the diagram, because the actual fitting instructions don't really make much sense. So I took that panel off. We might be able to make it work in there. I mean to say, it's space that's not getting used anyway, because you can't get to it once the fridge is fixed in. They fix onto the old door. So I'll use that space. I'll give it a go, but I'll get back to you to see if I'm winning or if I'm losing. Okay. I think I might have to open that bottle of Corona to get through this. Alrighty, let's see how we go. So, what's the time now? 4:30. Been at this for about 2 hours and I have not got very far, so looking a bit frazzled at the moment. I've pretty much just put the actual heater in place, that's it. So that's going down there. You've got your air intake on this end. This will be air outtake into the van. I've also done the holes so the exhaust pipes and the fuel pipes are all going down under the van. But the screws aren't long enough for holding it to the actual van on the other side to go through the whole way. So I'm going to muck around with that a bit. So yeah, it's you'd think it's pretty straightforward, but it's actually not as easy as you might think. But we'll keep persevering. So it is now 22:06. I have got all the wires through now, at least. So that's all going up through the cupboard. I've got the thermostat in, ready to go, all hooked up. And then I've got wires going along the bottom there, and they're ready to be hooked up to the battery. I've got to try to just sort out all the plumbing for the diesel, so I think that's going to be tomorrow's job. Pretty much run out of light today, but we'll pick up where we left off and I'll let you know how we're going. So all I can say now, it's time to finish this Corona and go relax for the night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. So it's John again. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Just about to start to finish off this diesel heater. Got me a cup of coffee, keep me awake hopefully, and maybe a little less frustrated if this doesn't go according to plan. But we'll see how we go. I'll let you know how I'm going, winning or losing. We'll let you know. Okay. So I've just fitted the nipple for the fuel to come out of the fuel tank. Now I don't understand why they wouldn't just have this already done. Like, it's a bit of a pain in the neck. Now I've installed it right down there in the corner. I've seen other videos online, they install it on that bit there, but then you can't use, like, what is it, probably a quarter, maybe even a third of your fuel tank. The plastic's thick enough to actually put a hole down there, so that's where I've put it, because I want to use all the diesel in it, not just half of it. Bit of a pain to get through. You do need to thread through a piece of wire from the top down that will fit through the actual hole of the nozzle, but it's doable. Just takes a bit of time. Okay, hope that's helpful. So I've connected the diesel heater tank to the front of the van to our toolbox, because we're never going to take that off anyway. So that has been connected to there. I'm starting to run the hoses now. Now there's a bit about the fuel filter and the pump need to be at certain angles and in line. So I've just got to figure out how I'm going to manage that when I'm running this under the caravan. But I'll see what I come up with. Alrighty. Hi there, so back again. Finished installing this diesel heater. I'll just show you what we did when it comes to the fuel line. So as we said, the diesel 10 litre tank there. Then I've got the fuel filter going through there. And if we come around this side, under here, it's going to be a bit of a ride. I'll take the journey with me. So your fuel line goes all the way down to where it connects into the van. That's your exhaust pipe, and that's your intake over there, the black one. Got them well separated, so therefore we shouldn't get any recirculating diesel smells coming in the van. Just back here, you'll see that's where the fuel pump is. So that does make a bit of a ticking noise, as you can hear, but inside the van you can't really hear it. So, well, I can't hear it when the heater's on. Then if we come up here, we've got it on right now. You can hear it going. Now that is pumping out some serious heat, folks. That is not going to take long at all to heat up this van. It's just, I'm really impressed by how much heat's coming out of there. Then up here is your controller. So at the moment showing that it's running. Ambient temperature inside the van is 22 degrees. It's set to 24. Up here you've got a settings button. So through the settings button you can either put it on manual or automatic mode. It's on automatic now because we've got it set to a temperature. Manual mode, you've got 6 different heat settings. P1 through to P6, P6 being the hottest, and it will just keep running. Now just an OK button to obviously OK the things that you do in your settings. Over this side you've got your up and down, so you can change your temperature up and down. Power, if you want the power button, if you want it off, you just hold that down for 2 seconds. It will continue running for about 2 minutes as it goes into a cool down mode. It's important that you allow it to go through the cool down stage, not just turned off at the power. Let it do its thing, otherwise you might damage some internal parts. Got the remote control there. I've tried that out. It's got the on off, temperature up and down, that's all working, so that's good. We can actually sit on the bed and use the controller to operate that during the night, and also at the couch, so that'll be handy. Now probably the most annoying part of the whole fit out was actually installing the actual heater unit, getting those holes right, getting the vents right. That's probably the hardest part of the whole thing, and that's what took a bit of time. As I said, the instructions, well, you might as well not look at them. They're in broken English and you can't make heads or tails of what they're actually telling you to do anyway. So just go off the diagram at the back of the book. It pretty much shows you the flow of where you need to put things, so just go with that. Other than that, really good unit. I think it's going to really keep us a lot warmer in this van and use less power, and it hardly uses any diesel as well. So I'll let you know in the future, just maybe in a comment on the page, to let you know how much diesel it is using and how long that 10 litres lasts. But yeah, really happy with it. This one costs about $220 delivered off of eBay, so really it's a small investment for a good bit of heat. We don't want to be cold while we're travelling, and we may have to stay in Victoria a bit longer than we had hoped, so we need the heater. But yeah, get out there. If you don't have one yet, do yourself a favour, put one of these babies in. Even if you get it installed for you, it's definitely well worth the money, and you won't be cold again. Alright, well, until next time, safe travels, and we'll see you around the tracks.